Welcome to the Festival of Entrepreneurs, recorded live at the NEC in Birmingham. Over the next few minutes, you'll hear from some of the most incredible founders, investors, and business leaders who joined us this year.
Starting with no money down, start business.
We got to the point where when we were first going to start again, we owned building 29 High Street, which is where our first shop is, which is like the home of Lush. And it's where a lot of the labs are as well now. We call them labs, but they're more like kitchens. And we owned that. So at least we had a building and we had a shop in it. And I used to do car boots, selling anything in the building that we didn't need. And we'd sell it in a car boot and then use money to buy raw materials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, given what you know now, when you look back and you join the dots, how have you scaled the business so effectively? What are like some of the key learnings?
I think the key thing I would say to people who want to build their own business is do it step by step. So you can go out and try and get big investment and go, but you don't know how to deal with it. So if you do it one shop at a time or one block at a time, whatever it is you're doing, at least you understand what you're doing and you can build it slowly and keep a knowledge of it. Rather, the minute it gets out of control. Our biggest thing was we went from our 80 square metre shops to 400 square metre when we opened on Oxford Street, and we had absolutely no idea how to run that. And that was such a challenge. We had to have 4 managers in it. It was over 4 floors. It was, they were
like 5x it almost, or 10x.
And that's one shop. Yeah. So if you were doing your whole business, I don't know quite how you'd work. So I always think doing it step by step, not being tempted by, and it depends. I spoke to somebody earlier, and they started their business intentionally to sell it on. That's great. We've always started our business intentionally to keep it as a family business. So it's family members that are coming up now for the next generation.
I was just saying, because whenever we've talked over the years, it's never been a plan. As you say, some people start a business to exit that business. That's never been a plan for you guys at all. So now you've got family members who could come in.
Well, they're in already, and they're working their way through them. So they're learning all the different areas. So when we first started, the 6 of us, we all did more than one job. So although each of us had a different skill set, so I would say if you're starting your business, surround yourself with people with different complementary skill sets. And that way you can all work together, and at different times, different ones of you are leading the way. And the kids that are in now, they're not kids anymore, but they're worked in different areas of the business as well. So they're not single track babies. They understand, but then their skills are going into different areas, which is lovely. So that gives it a lovely balance as well.
I remember we chatted before and said that originally the aim was like M25.
Within the M25.
Clearly, we've been so just remind us kind of like numbers wise with that, as in where was the first location, which I know the answer to. Where was the last location? Because I think we've had a few this year. It's obviously that.
So our first one was in Bull, where we overbuilding now. And then the first one outside of Bull, within the M25, is we were just going to be happy to be with the M25 after losing our previous business. So we did have an investor. So we had somebody phone us up who was a customer for Cosmetics to Go and said, are you going to make the Prince of Neroli shaving cream? And it's well, we can. You want some? So we made that. They said, oh, by the way, I work for somebody who blessed businesses. Would you be interested? So we had a chat with him, and Peter said that he would like to invest in there. We made it very clear we're not giving shares away for the investment. We would love some investment, and we will give him the best return on his investment. And that was our promise. It took 3 years, and we gave him the best return on his investment, with us keeping 100% of our shares. So we weren't giving anything away, and we've never wanted to give anything away because we niche, I think, with what we do, with the way that we behave, with our we believes, with our non-animal testing, vegan, vegetarian, freshness, naked products. All of those things don't really fit in necessarily to the cosmetic industry. So if we had people come in and go, no, I don't want you to do that because I could make more money if you didn't have that quality of ingredient. We can make a bigger margin on our products if we didn't care about the raw materials that we're using and where we get them from. And if you've got people that are only after the money, that's what they would want you to do. They would want you to cut those corners because it's all about the margins. So Peter was quite happy to invest in, and that meant we could open a tiny little headquarter of Barbie. And then I moved to London to run those, and then King's Road. And then from King's Road, being on there, people from on holiday would come along, would see us, and then the first ones that did it were from Canada and Croatia, and they were like, we want to take Lush to our country. And it was like, well, we know nothing about, we didn't really know anything about retail because we'd been manufacturers, and then we had the Bearlid business. So it was like, well, if you're going to take it, it needs to look like this. You can only sell our products in the shop, and they took it, and the rest, as they say, is history. So from there, we were going out. And so then what we've always said is, where we wait for people to come to us, we don't go looking for people to own the business. So we're not chasing, we like to be chased. And
we all like that.
Yeah, we all like that too. And so they come to us, and one of the most important criteria when you're speaking to somebody that wants to invest in your business or wants to license your business, take it away, is do you actually like them? So one of our top things is, would we like to have dinner with you? And if we just say, actually, we'd have nothing to talk about and we can't see a relationship here, then it doesn't matter what their credentials are, because it's not going to work. You have to have a friendship there, and then you come in with, like, have you got the money or what experience you've got? So.
And bring us up to date, 2025, latest locations this year?
Cyprus. It opens this week, and then mail order in India opens next week, the 16th.
Okay. And you've been, correct me if I'm wrong, to every location that you've...
Gio, I haven't been to the Albania one. So I haven't actually...
You holiday to the beach?
It is. If I get work to pay for it as well, and sort of measure, that's...
We just say location. You named it 3 times. Has that been your experience as well at building Lush?
Absolutely. You've got to be where the footfall is. You've got to be. You can think, well, everybody's going to love us and people will come and find you. People don't call you, keep up. Well, a certain amount of people did, obviously, but you've got to pick yourself out. You've got to be there where people can see you, where they walk past you, smell you, bump into you, and then, let's come in and see what they're doing in here. I mean, that's one of the reasons is retail has been difficult since the pandemic because people haven't really wanted to touch their back on the high street quite the same way. It's building up now, thankfully. So we started doing collabs, which is something that we would never have done before. So Scooby-Doo is it there at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, there's lovely pictures of Scooby and the what's a mystery machine gift. And, so that's in at the minute. But by doing a collab with someone, I mean, we do have very strict criteria of who we'll work with. At the minute, there's a big argument as to whether we'll work with Disney or not, because you always look beyond what they're up to, and they have the Animal Kingdom parks, and so we feel a bit like could we be associated with that. So, but like I said, by having a collab, by working with people that you like or that they want to work with you, that brings in new people as well, because we're not on social media, so we're not out there sort of poking everyone going, hello, look at us, this is what we're doing. So because we haven't got social media, you have to find other ways to say hello, have a look over here. And then people, we have Minecraft has been in there, is in there still over Minions. When you've got people that would like Minecraft or Minions or Wicked with Barbie, and they wouldn't necessarily think of Lush. And then they come in because they know that we've got products associated with something that they love.
Yeah.
And so that broadens out then your audience base. So yeah.
When you made the decision to come off social media, have you revisited that decision any number of times? Have you talked about it? Or
When we do talk about it, but until the algorithms change in Meta, please, it's an act up. Yeah, we reserve the right to go straight back on. The minute they make it a safe platform for youngsters especially, then we'll go back on. But while it's not, then we won't be on there. So then you know that you're missing something if you're not on Instagram and YouTube and X. No, YouTube are all right, but X, the TikTok. That, it's going to take to really interesting. Forgot. So yeah, but we now have our own app, and we have a Lush Club as well. And that's somewhere for people to come and find us and get, healthy sort of information and things, and all those little benefits that you get from being part of a club.
good. As of now, what are your main countries and what would you say your most profitable locations?
So the UK is with the wood. North America is the biggest volume. So there's 200 stores in America, and that's got so much space for more. So that turns over more. Yeah. But whether it makes more profit than anyone else remains to be seen. So turnovers don't always stick to the amount of profit, do they? No. But in our top 5, we've got the States, Canada, the UK, Japan, and Korea. And Australia is South Korea. Korea is owned by Kara, but they're very strong.
Yeah. Interested to know, do you still have locations that aren't necessarily profitable, but
you have too many.
Too many.
That's a constant conversation.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes, you do. And then the way we look at it is that at any one time, markets are up, it bids are down, and then you hope that your biases out, and overall you're okay. I think having a license, all our licensed countries where we have local partners in there are amazing, because you've got an entrepreneur that's got your brand there and it's their money, and so they are very keen to make it a success. And we have a great team that supports them to make sure that as much as possible they can be as success that it to be. And those countries all work really well, and they make good money. Then we have 21 countries that belong to group, and they're ones where maybe the partner has retired, has a family you pass it on to, or for numerous reasons don't do Lush anymore, and then we get them and we look after them. When that is not our strongest suit, looking after, because some of them work, some of them don't, and those are the ones that tend to be low. Europe, very difficult for us, very difficult. I don't think you make money anywhere in Europe.
Anywhere?
But other than Switzerland, who is a partner country. So they do, but they're a challenge. I am looking for a CEO for Germany at the minute, because if we've got anyone in here that's German as please, so that I need to we very rarely do that, bring people in at such a high level, but I think it's got to the point where I've just got to do it. So there are challenges, it's difficult. Italy never made any money, but one of the things that we decided very early on is we wanted to be here, there and everywhere. So if people travel so much now, don't they? So if they see you in one place and they come visit you in another, and we just wanted to be everywhere. So,
but it's clearly not enough of a headache for you, any of you guys, to think about. Actually, we've had enough of the business. Let's exit.
Yeah, we all still love it. We're still very active. We're all very active in the business. Who are those James do?
And what makes that personally you still active in the business? Like what gets you out of bed is, I think, still the New Forest, right?
Yeah.
Coming to pool, which is still, on a good day, 40 minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
On a good day, exactly.
Yeah.
What still, motivates you, inspires you to do that, Rowena?
The people make me. I love the people. I love what we do. Last year, we reached the total of having given £100 million in charitable donations to small grassroots charities. And that was such a lovely target. It wasn't even the target. So the first time we decided we'd do a giving front was we thought if we did 1 million, if we raised 1 million, we'd be really pleased with ourselves. So, but last year we reached 100 million, and that was sort of,
That's a crazy number.
it is a crazy number, and it all went to grassroots charities. So not the big boys. It wasn't as if we gave it all to Oxfam or WWF or anything. It was people from the ones that just want £5,000 to print leaflets to advertise what they're doing, or up to people that are super gluing themselves to runways. It can be anything, and then there's the campaigning as well. So yeah, I really love that.
Clearly the business has been ridiculously successful. Is there anything that you think almost has held you back from being even more successful? Might be a daft question.
I mean, it depends how you look at success, doesn't it? If you look at success as your bottom line, then the way that we buy our raw materials, always wanting the best quality, always wanting surge made, always wanting organic, always trying to go directly to growers and producers, that reduces your margin.
Yeah.
But that means you sleep at night because you know that your products are the best that they can be. And always the bottom line for us has been we want to produce quality and make it as affordable as we can, but still reserve it quite to make a profit. And so, we do that. So the people looking at your profit margin wouldn't be so impressed and wouldn't see it as a success. So there's big things that they could do with that.
For many well-known campaigns over the years, is there one or a couple that you're proudest of?
Yeah, I mean they're challenging, aren't they? So campaigns they're at different levels, so that you can campaign about the right to roam, and that's so people should have the right to be able to walk across the countryside and not be told that they can't beat you. So you've got that sort of level, and then up to the ones where you close your shops for a day to draw attention to not starving people in Gaza, or you draw attention to the fact that the police are undercover and are duping women who are in activist groups, very gentle activist groups, not even not what's it going to cause harm or death or anything, and just highlighting that police, they only ever have married policemen that do it, so that they've got a family at one end, and then quite often they have a family with the woman that they're trying to get into their group. So, and they came to us and said, would you highlight this? And we did that about, I don't know how many years ago, and people don't like us for it. Some people didn't like us for it. But then this year, earlier on in the year, there was a whole TV program about it. So finally it come to light, and there was a TV program on it. And people were shocked to know that was happening, especially on such, if you were infiltrating people that were planning to blow up home, and I would understand it, but it wasn't even anywhere near that level. So, so we do highlight things in country alliance, state estimates. So, because we ask them not to kill badgers and chase foxes and all that sort of stuff. So we're a bit marmite when it comes to our campaigns, but most of the time our customers are really behind this stuff.
Yeah. If you had taken the leap over 30 years ago now, where do you think you'd be? What would you be doing?
I would be I'd be a pilot, and I'd have a boutique hotel in Botswana.
It's a great answer. That was it. Good answer.
Yeah, and I'd be picking you up from Fowl where you fly in, and then I'd put you in my little plane and I'd fly you into our runway, which goes to that boutique hotel, and then I'm going to take my safari in my Jeep.
I think you should do that anyway, Ben.
Oh, no, no.
Down there, yeah. Tell us a little bit, so at this point in time, where you Christmas, next thing on the radar, what have you guys got planned out of anything different that you would normally do?
Yeah, we're opening next Thursday a hair lab in Ford. So we've got one in Brighton. So hair labs are new to us. We've had spas now for 13 years. As our best kept secret was one in Birmingham. Just been there this morning, very lovely. And so the spa, all the treatments there are created exactly the same way as we do our products. So each spa treatment has its own soundtrack. No whales involved, but you've got beautiful musicians. And very different soundtracks and different treatments, different types of massage. The whole point is that we pick you up from one place to put you down in another. So it's not waxing and eyelash tipping, that sort of spa. It's definitely something to affect all the senses. And now we're starting on a hair lab. So we opened one in Brighton a couple of years ago. Now we're going to open one in Gaul, so we're a little bit closer to keeping it. And that is a completely different way of having your hair done, but still having your hair done. Yeah. What we're working on is said hair dyes as well. So we do hennas, so you can get different shades of red. We do have a pink one. It's not pink bar, but this is the shampoo, the Snow Fairy shampoo. But we have got a pink from Madaru that would be there. And then we're working on other colours because hair dyes, are particularly safe. They are carcinogenic, but if you smoke, it's worse for you. So we're trying to create all those things, and when you have your hair washed, you can lie down so you're not leaning your head back and damaging your neck. And the treatments are lovely. You are there for longer than if you were a hairdressers, but the experience itself is just magic.
So always innovating.
Yeah.
Still.
So you've got the key moves.
I do. Let's see if anybody's got any questions for the audience. We've got a roving mic. There's lots of questions.
I've got loads.
The order both plus one.
Yeah, if I'd say.
Thanks, Louis. Chapter. Go to chapter afterwards. Yeah, after you.
Hi. I'd just love to know where you see yourself in 10 years' time.
Possible. Actually, I'm taking my husband there next year with the hope that he'll actually work.
Oh, yeah?
I suppose to try, isn't it?
And then for the business as well, for Lush.
I think we'll be in more countries. So there's, as I said, Cyprus opens this week. India will open Q4, it opens Bangalore the next week, and then it'll open its first shop on the 20th of December. And then the year after that, we'll go to Indonesia. So we're still looking, we're still expanding. Hopefully we'll have a much stronger shop in New York. That would be really nice. But the money's got to come in to be able to change things.
I was with Sydney, because I just got back to Australia. So the reason I was there 3 years, so I bought at your Lush store.
Oh, QVB's just been done up, and it's just reopened. It looks amazing. Yeah, going down in November, as a look.
Yeah, how is that?
Now it's doing really well. I think the viral has hit it with super milk and sticky dates. So that's why you've got a lot of influencer. Those two things have hit now, and that's lifting it into green with lots more people in. So, Australia's on a 46% growth rate in a minute. So, yes, I don't know. It's all about topping.
And you're headed there in November?
I am, yeah. There's been a moment.
Last time of the year to go?
Yes, I know.
Fantastic. Chapter.
Is this on? Congratulations, first of all, on what you've built. It's amazing. A lot of founders I speak to as they scale, one of their biggest fears is diluting their values. And you're clearly very values driven, which is utterly commendable. Can you talk to us a bit about how you've managed to keep your values intact as you scale?
I think because it's still the same founders, because we haven't got anyone else in pressurising us in any other way. So in the first year, when we knew that we were going to expand out, so we took on Canada, wanted to take us Croatia. So we wrote a We Believe statement, which appears, it's in all shops. So we wrote that 29 years ago. And we'd never taken anything off, but we've only added something on, which was about the right to roam. So it was, people should be welcome, all should be welcome, always, everywhere. So that's the other edition. And we have that list that we call it the We Believe. And that's what we run by. So every partner coming in, every entrepreneur coming in, they also have to adhere to that. We've never wanted to take anything off it. It's been our passion right from the beginning. And I would always say to anyone, if you're going to start a business, start it with something that you're already passionate about, because then you, on the sleepless nights, the hard work, the things that make you want to cry and give up, you've done it because you're very passionate about what you do. So yeah, it's not been an easy sort of growth. There's ups and downs, but because we're passionate about it, then it stays the same all the time. And then, you just want to stick to your values and your ethics and keep your morals. We started, it's a little bit of an aside, but we have EBT, which is our Employment Benefit Trust. When you manufactured for Body Shop for years, and we had a great strong relationship with Anita at Wilbur Product. And when Anita sold to L'Oreal, we were shocked but she would have done that. It's the largest animal testing company. She's been campaigning about against animal testing for years. So that was a big shock. And a lot of the people that worked for her were so completely upset by it. It was just like, when they felt like they'd been sold down the river, they worked for Body Shop because of what Body Shop stood for, and that's what they wanted to do. And people work for us as well because of what we stand for, what we do. And what we didn't want was, we knew as founders that we were going to set out, but you can't know what the next layer coming up are going to do you? You rather hope that they're as invested as you are. So we started the Employment Benefit Trust so that the next layer coming out, they can't actually sell out. That's important. So we're trying to fill in things that go through into the next generation of Lush. I mean, we'll all still be here right to the end, I think. So we had a consultant, that's not a nice enough word for it, actually, Step Crystal. And on his deathbed, he was writing formulas for us. And that's been what we were all like, yep, that's where we made it be. Yeah. So it's just because, another.
Whichever. Just as an extension, I guess, of the brand capital preservation, you mentioned the strategy of here, there, and everywhere. Can you talk more about the sort of philosophy around the brand and the decision not to do something like social media, given the competitive nature of the Kardashians or the Selena Gomez's of the world entering that sort of space as a brand that has decided not to go the personal route in terms of collaborations and partnerships, and how you're rolling it around Lush as the identity itself?
Well, that's a lot, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, if Botswana doesn't work out, South Africa is a good place. It's a good place to accept.
Where?
South Africa.
I love Samba.
My favourite country.
I know, I do, yeah. Wait, it's the second one after what's called. We have done one-to-ones, but we did one with, just based in Brighton. We did a mental health one with her and someone else. So that was linked to switching off computers of the day, I think. So we're not averse to that. The Kardashians, we love them. They shop in our shops, and then they put them on their website, on their Instagram feeds. So we go that way, really, rather than do things. But it was all about a lot of the youngsters shop with us, and what we don't want them to do is go to Instagram for us on TikTok. I mean, they're still going to go there, but we didn't want to be there and encouraging them to come on, and then they'd be getting looked into the seniors, the horrid side of that. What was it over there? Is that?
Yeah, I guess that was just about it. In terms of it was an extension of the values. I guess you explained that already.
Yes, and that's so. But with all things, so like with our non-animal testing policy, we don't buy raw materials from any company that does any testing. So it's not just about the raw material, which it often is with a lot of companies. They won't buy a raw material that's been tested, but they'll buy from that company. We won't buy from that company if they're doing any testing, because the profit from our purchase would technically could be paying for the testing on animals. So we take that one step further and so don't buy from them. So therefore, being honest, you don't want to be somewhere where it can do more harm as go to children on there, especially.
Yes, sorry, just on top of that, is then how are you actually getting into those communities? I know you said that you put it up now
but where are those other forums that are you directly connected to your customers?
We do things on YouTube. So we have a little YouTube channels, which we do things on. We've got the app, we've got the Lush Club. We put him out, so there's emails going out and fine. And then we're doing that really. And we try and be so on the high street, creating theatre and having that space that people want to come in and take part in the theatre and smell it. Yeah, you walk into a Lush shop pretty deep, but you've had a pre-arranged beverage with it. So there's lots of stuff going on. We're just trying to be present then. I think we reckon that we probably lost 10% by coming off. Yeah. So yeah, but it was important to us, and obviously you can tell we reserve the right to make a profit, but it's not only about the profit.
No.
Yeah.
So you pass the note to Janesse. Oh.
Rowena, amazing, loving the dress. Through your incredible journey, what have you learned most about yourself?
I like myself now more than I used to. Those sort of, I think resilience probably, and my ability to say yes to anything, and I'm adaptable. So when we started the business, it was like, right, who's going to go and live in London and run the shop? What to do? And
He's working.
Yeah, if I have. And then then it was like, well, if Canada or Paris are going to come off, well, I'll go business with them, because the others didn't want to do it. They had children, they had families. I'd only just got married, so it was okay for me to be doing those things. So I don't think I'd realised just how adaptable and how up for stuff I am. So I like to say yes to things. I like to give things a go, and So I'm surprised by how much energy I have, how I motivate it to do different things.
Amazing, thank you. Do you ever say no?
No. No, but she goes.
She's going to come on my podcast. She's got a webcam.
I am. I'm going to ask you to come on my podcast. Brave, bold, brilliant.
Oh, 3 of my favourite words.
Oh,
You were going to say that, so is that a yes?
Yes.
Amazing.
yeah. Question there, was it? Yeah, brilliant. Last couple of them that we got.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, because 14 years ago, your level of customer service is phenomenal, because 14 years ago, I just started my business and I wrote to you and I had didn't have a big following, and I just asked for your friends with benefit massage bars, and you sent me, and you even have the picture of the label saying, especially made for my business, and it was something that stuck out for me. And then I remember several years ago, feeling really run down one day, going into one of your shops in Milton Keynes, and this lady just slipped something in my bag, and I got home and I read it, and it was like, we felt like you needed this today, and it was a little shower, the steam mode, and it just blew my mind. So I've always had Lush, you guys, as one of your values are phenomenal, and it's something that on my business I really try to stick to my values.
Oh, you think? Yeah, thanks for today. That's our random act of kindness. I mean, we don't about it very much, I'll tell you guys, but normally we wouldn't mention it. But all the shop, everybody working on the shop floor is allowed to put products and kick his bag in the field that they need. Yeah.
That's for sure. There you go. Oh. So good to know.
I'm going to ask because she's too shy to. Then we come from a family business, and there's been some conflict, there's been some early times, there's been some difficult times. How do you manage it?
That's your answer.
As I know, we've got one of the next generation coming up that drives me like crazy, and I don't know what to do about it. But he's a family member, so it's not. This is is it? No pressure. It's hard. It is hard. Patience, I think, and it's just sort of. I think you want to do communication, and I'm not ever so good at doing that, because as a person who's protected because he belongs to the other founders, one of the other founders. So
You're not your family.
no, I don't have family. I kept it simple. I have holidays and what children. So it is really difficult. But I think communicating, keeping those open and trying not to let it all, and then having a discussion. I regularly have to sit down with them and go, why have you done that? Well, where's that coming from? What does that mean? And then what easy conversations, because this person is really a resource. And it's like, you dread it, you go it, you think that. But if you don't do that conversation, then it's...
Conversation becomes harder and harder and harder, right?
Well, it does it. And then it lives inside you and you become really no. And they're no as well. So, there's no easy answer, sadly. But you know that a family business lasts longer and is stronger. So a lot of the big businesses, Laura included, are family owned. So they're still owned, the things, but you would think that. And so family business is stronger than business.
Time for last question. Chat there with the suit. Oh, sorry, Lizzie. Before them, we got one more at the back.
Have you implemented AI or are you thinking to?
Oh gosh, that is such a discussion, isn't it? I mean, what fun is AI? But it's on the other side of that we're an environmental company and the amount of power it uses is like, so we've got the environmentalists in the company going, we can't use AI. And then you've got everyone else going, oh, we really want to use AI. So it's a discussion the whole time. But it really is about, but we're all about the people that we employ as well. So where you would use it would not be in an area where somebody won't lose their job. And that's the important thing about AI. If it can supplement and it can support and it can be a great team member, lovely. But if it's there to replace somebody, they're cut.
Good answer. Last question then after wrap that we run over as usual.
Hi, Rowena. Really quick question. Your supply chain, based on your ethics, do you actually own a portion or all of your supply chain? Or did you go through a calculation, and so what was that calculation to determine whether it was worth you owning your own supply chain for the raw materials?
Oh, so you mean raw materials, not freight? Okay, good. No, we don't. We own some things. So we have lavender that we grow ourselves and bitter orange trees that we grow ourselves in Blethermore. That's really lovely. And we have a big chunk of rainforest that we bought to keep it protected. People can take the rose and wool, but you can't because it's protected. So we can't do that. So in a few areas we do that. We support very much growers and producers. And that is really important to us. So quite often we will support more. So we had what was called the Slush Fund, and that was all about finding growers and then investing in their business for them. Never to the point that they would only supply us, because if we went down, they would then be left with nothing. So we would always encourage anyone that we work with like that to have more than one customer, so not just us. And that's really important. We have the Spring Prize, which is all about investing in regeneration. We put the prize out there on people of high for the prize money, which helps their regenerative projects. So we're very, but we don't want to tie it all up. But we have a team of creative buyers, call them. So it's not just about hopping down to the warehouse or Googling online where you can get this raw material from. It's about going to find who's growing it, what conditions are the people working. There's a whole list of questions that you have to go through to even become a supplier for Lush. It's really strict, and that all includes fair wages, safe working conditions, no child labour, all lots and lots of different, no animal testing obviously, and so it's incredibly tough, and sometimes we can't do what we want to do or get what we would like to get, and we have to things. But we make those things a challenge for us, and then it becomes it's not a challenge. It becomes a challenge, not a problem. So how we'll work out where we're going to get something, how we're going to get it, or we'll want something. So that answer your question.
Yeah, I think from a founder perspective, trying to figure out when it's worth you as a founder, business owner, investing in your own supply chain, or like for selling certain amount of a particular product? When's that point that you kind of calculate, actually, I need to own that so that I can guarantee the quality of my product endpoint? And I'm just something that I'm traveling with at the moment, and I'm just trying to figure out how you guys did it.
Depends how many raw materials you want, or what you want to invest in, I suppose. But because we're working with the groups, so the way we work, rather than buying it from, say, a cosmetic supermarket, as it were, so a cocoa butter. So instead of buying cocoa butter from a cocoa butter dealer, where the price is looked down, we buy directly from a women's cooperative in Ghana. Now, we can buy it from them for less than we would buy it if it was from a supplier in the UK, but we give them more money than the supplier would give them.
You're giving that middleman fee, so there's in the profit in the
Absolutely.
local economy in the local.
Yeah. So there's a win-win, and we're always looking for that win-win. I mean, we're not saints, but we're always looking for that win-win when it comes to that. So if you're thinking, but as I said, you don't tie that supplier in just to you, because if you do and you go down, that they've got nothing and you're affecting all of them as well. So we try and keep it as spread out as possible.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Amazing. Okay, well, I always learn something new every time we chat.
The shop, see the products in there.
Well, look, have a great time.
Did you bring a very sad face, Alex?
Yeah, I will. I'll hit all the shops. Amazing.
Thanks for watching this special episode from the Festival of Entrepreneurs. Our mission is simple: to help founders and business owners grow faster, think bigger, and take action. And if you were part of the event, thank you for joining us and being part of the community. And if you missed it, don't worry. We'll be back with even more ideas, inspiration, and opportunities to help you take your business to the next level. You can find out more and register for future events at festivalofentrepreneurs.co.uk.